As Israel continues to hemorrhage support across the world, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the wanted war criminal, has drafted in some Christian Gen Z influencers in an attempt to turn the tide and build support for the state of Israel once again.
Christian influencers, okay. You said, we talked about the woke right, and you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke right, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're movies, but they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money of NGOs, vast, money of governments, vaster. Okay. We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are in social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is class?
Followers.
TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpart? Yes.
A few takeaways from that. One, how arrogant is that guy? Class. I mean, these are grown adults, so that's already annoyed me. The other part of it, TikTok is the most important thing. So, okay, so it's nothing to do with China then. It was nothing to do with China. It was never to do with China. The other part is X, of course, but Elon's a friend, so we don't have to worry about X. Now, he also says we can use drones, and I don't want to get into that, or the drones you use to blow up children. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see why you don't want to get into that, Benjamin. Also, did you notice when he said to the class, because, you know, he's an obnoxious, condescending arse, that what's the most important purchase right now? No, the answer was TikTok. But did you hear someone say bots?
TikTok.
Yeah, I noted that as well. Okay, they're going to come back with some questions as well, though, because these are intellectual people, these influencers. I'm sure they've got lots of questions to ask.
So something I would like to raise, which was actually my first published paper, was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America.
Well, this is awkward, because the Likud party was founded by a guy called Menachem Begin, who then went on actually to be the Prime Minister of Israel. But before all that, before he founded Likud, he was a terrorist. He was part of something called the Irgun. And while he was running the Irgun, they bombed the King David Hotel, killing multiple Britons, Jews, Arabs, and tried to blame it on the Egyptians in an attempt to start a war. But, okay, sorry, Deborah, I interrupted you there.
And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, who's my first mentor in the space, evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside the diaspora?
Probably keep pretending to be the victim, but doing it louder. Taking over TikTok so stuff can't come out on TikTok. Taking over X so that stuff doesn't get out on X. I imagine stuff like that. That's probably what I'd go for. Right, who's the opinionated girl? I don't know who she is, but she's probably got something to say.
Yesterday, I got the honor of meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu as part of a special focus group for Christian conservative Gen Zers, and we were essentially addressing the concerns that we had, right? There's clearly been a growing divide. He wanted to know why. He wanted to know what Israel could be doing better.
Stop killing children. Carry on.
AIPAC is something that I see all the time. Number one, AIPAC is not an Israeli organization. It has no ties whatsoever to the government of Israel. It's not foreign lobbying. It's a lobbyist group that happens to be lobbying for a certain group of people, right?
I mean, it didn't take long. She went to the meeting. I guess she had maybe some biscuits and stuff, and that was nice. And then she's come out and she's already on the AIPAC and nothing to do with Israel. I mean, it's literally got Israel in the name. AIPAC are not a foreign lobby group. They're just a group that lobby on behalf of a foreign country. Yeah, that's a foreign lobby group, mate.
Imagine supporting people who start wars just to lose the wars so they can cry about it and then try it all again.
You must see anti-Semites are literally obsessed with Jews. Now walk with me.
What?
While you must see anti-Semites are stacking eviction notices, Jews are out here stacking up businesses.
Jews control all the industries. Maybe if you spent more time taking notes from successful people, you wouldn't have to spend your nights and weekends spreading hate from your anonymous account with an anime profile picture.
Do you work as hard as Jews? Do you network like Jews? No, because you're too busy cheering on a group of musty terrorists who smell like dirty earring backs. And if we're gonna keep it real, you're really mad because your income is giving side hustle.
Period.
How you gonna hate from outside, Shabbat? You can't even get in.
Okay, that's annoying because I like Dennis Rodman. But, I mean, that's awful. I mean, they're really bad at this, Israel. They're horrendously bad at this. Because that was supposed to make me like Israel more. Okay. There is more to it, though, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I've said this a few times. They own the mainstream media. You won't see the mainstream media criticizing Israel. If they do, if someone dares to, then they tend to get called lots of names and then they come out and apologize. You know, sorry, didn't mean to do that. It was an accident. But social media is where the problem is, particularly TikTok. I'm not a big fan of TikTok. You know, I'm a bit old for it, if I'm honest. But lots of stuff was coming out of Gaza, lots of stuff that wasn't getting in the mainstream media. While the mainstream media were making documentaries, then refusing to release them because of pressure, all these things were being released on social media. So they've got a problem. Now, if it were me, to be honest, if you're blowing up children and people don't like you for blowing up children, there's a point then when you could self-evaluate and go, shall I stop blowing up children? Yeah. But no, it's not that. We need more influencers. Influencers will fix it, because I was against the blowing up of children, and then I saw Dennis Rodman there telling me to walk with him, and suddenly now I ain't that bothered about it. So it's funny. They're right. It does work. The real reason, however, is not about controlling the media, social and legacy for what's been. Because what's the point? What's the point? You can't unsee what you've already seen coming out of Gaza. You can't. So yes, they can take over TikTok now and you might not get any new videos, but you still know the old ones. They're still etched in everyone's brain. They're horrendous. Same with Twitter. So if you've got control of that, it's not for the past, is it, ladies and gentlemen? Because what's the point? Short of them literally taking the memories out of your brain, which, you know, they might do eventually when we're connected to the cloud, but until then, I've still got them and I can still see it. So what it's about, ladies and gentlemen, is controlling the narrative going forward. What is Israel planning? What is the state of Israel planning that they don't want us to expose, they don't want us to see, and they don't want us to share to the masses? Maybe it's what they're expecting to do in Gaza. Maybe it's what they're expecting to do in terms of Iran and escalating that war with Iran, because they need the USA support. We saw that before when Iran went toe-to-toe with Israel. Let's have it right. Iran gave them a bit of a battering. Tel Aviv and Beersheba took a bit of a hammering. The Iron Dome failed. And so they found their little get-off ramp and they've prepped for war in the future. But they want America on side because they need American support. So what they don't want is all this stuff on social media getting out there and people seeing Israel, the state of Israel, for what it really is, and then not supporting US involvement against Iran. So that's what this is about, folks. It's about controlling the narrative going forward. It's not about erasing the narrative from the past, because that horse is bolted. I will say, though, if you've paid these guys, which maybe you have, I don't know if the Israeli state paid these influencers or whether it promised them algorithmic support, which is the same as being paid because they make more money out of it. Either way, you've wasted your money, Israel, because this is clownland stuff.